Within a couple words, I'd say I'm really persistent and passionate and hardworking. If I were to take just a couple words to try to summarize myself. My sister's older. Both of us are dyslexic, and we had a really hard time in the system. Once we were diagnosed, my mom immediately took us out of school. When I was homeschooled, I went to a homeschooling co-op. I fell in love with theater there. I thought, this is my route. This is what I'll do. I ended up moving to New York and slowly started realizing that rarely is it based in telling a story, which is why I wanted to be in there. Okay, goodbye. I moved from New York back to Cincinnati to go to culinary school because I knew that food was my vehicle to inspire communities to open up and bond with each other. Yeah, so the grant's called Madisonville Cooks, and it's a 2-part series of cooking classes. The first one's for youth, and every day they focus on a different strength. I plan on sort of organizing all the room and putting out all the burners, pots, pans, grating cheese, sort of getting everything in line for the volunteers to come. The theme we're doing today is gratitude. So every day we've got a different skill, a different strength we're teaching the students.
Okay.
So gratitude is today, and we're gonna start that lesson by taking them to the garden and understanding all the stuff you can grow in this fertile land.
Our kids, they may have never been in a kitchen before. And I want them, and Kristen wants them to understand that you don't have to look and make this elaborate meal. You can make macaroni and cheese in a few minutes and it be done, and put whatever ingredients you want, and it can be a meal as opposed to a side dish.
Hello. How are you today? Good. Good. Will you sign in? So today we're gonna walk out in the garden. Who knows what we're making today? Yeah. So on the first day, we talked about what we love, and I heard a lot of people love macaroni, so I'm happy we're making it. So we're gonna harvest items, bring it back in, and we may play around with putting some items into our mac and cheese. I wouldn't want to give someone a whole new, array of ingredients. That can be terrifying, and they may walk away. So it's this game of giving them a menu item that feels similar enough to what they're used to, and then pairing it with something that's a little unusual. Do you guys know what these are? Yeah. They're jalapenos. They had to choose a filling beyond the pasta and cheese. Could have been tomatoes or kale or jalapenos, but something other than yellow or white. The best way to harvest basil is to pinch off the very top where it would create the bud. So could everyone pinch off maybe one? A couple leaves may come with it, but that's okay. Cool, we'll throw that in the bucket too. Culinary education has been taken out of our education altogether, and now parents aren't teaching it as much. So we're really at a loss for people who know how to cook. You could put your kale or collards in here, but everyone, please pick a leaf. How do you cook the produce you're growing? How do you identify produce if it doesn't have a label? I mean, these super basic building blocks to get people into the kitchen cooking need to occur in order to rebuild this loop that we've lost. Well, this stuff looks great for mac and cheese. You guys ready to cook? So today, you guys, we're gonna be talking about gratefulness. That's our word. That's our word of the day.
Working with Kristen, I've learned that you can always learn things. No matter what, you can always be taught something.
So who's made macaroni and cheese? Awesome. This is great. I'm sure you guys have a specific way of how you like it, how your family makes it. I'm not here to compete. My way may not be the best way. I can tell you that now. So if you guys know a better way, I'd love to hear it. And culinary education is a challenging thing to teach. There's so much you have to know, and there's so much knowledge that you lean on being passed down, right? Since everyone's on a different platform, it's challenging because you're having to teach the entire system. You know, a lot of these things we take for granted, but if someone hasn't been in a kitchen, they're not gonna know. I'm gonna hold up ingredients. You tell me what it is. What's this? What's this? So it's challenging the amount of information that needs to be given. And it's challenging finding people who can talk slowly and communicate things. Now, boiling. Moist heat cooking method, dry heat cooking method. Moist, right. We're using water. I talk about sustainability a lot because I think it's important we find a route to get this into communities in a way that can live on. Because the last thing I want to do is hang out with some wonderful kids, get to know them, and then wave goodbye. So my hope with sustainability with these classes is that we can keep going with them, and that I can know these kids and know these adults and keep building community around that till it gets bigger and bigger and it supports itself. And it doesn't need a leader like me anymore. And people will naturally have their own cooking gatherings, and people will naturally start teaching youth how to cook. That's the ultimate. But until we can get to that, we need to find a way to financially support a system that teaches people how to cook.